my neuro skills check for the PASS exam. This is essentially an exam that is looking for a patient post-stroke at their ability to maintain and change postures, which is what the exam is broken down into two kind of subcategories. Just getting into it, we will kind of try to provide the scores down during the video that will kind of appear as we go along for each different test. Test 1, the patient is starting in sitting unsupported with their feet flat on the floor, and this test is looking if this patient can maintain this posture. Ideally, the goal is 5 minutes, and you score the patient accordingly. Those should pop up as we go along. The next one, the patient is standing, so go ahead and stand up for me. And this is you're here for support for this one, so you're kind of assessing if the patient is able to stand and the level of support you have to provide. So for part 3 of the PASS exam, maintaining posture, we're going to see if the patient can stand unsupported and ranking their ability to do this while also performing some simultaneous arm movements. So Cameron, what I would like you to do is stand here, try to maintain your balance, and we're going to see if you can do mini arm circles. Good. For about a minute, okay? Let's see how you do with that. And I don't think she'll have any issue with this, so we'll say she's able to maintain that for a minute, and that will be a score of 3 for this part of the exam. So part 4 of the PASS exam is seeing how the patient is able to stand on their non-paretic limb. So for example, we will say Cameron's right side is affected by the stroke, so a left CDA, but her right side is the one seeing the motor and sensory deficits. So to get right into this, Cameron, I'd like you to take a little half step forward for me. And I would just like you to bring that right foot up and then balance on that left leg. The goal of this is 10 seconds, which is what gets you the high score of a 3. We will see how she does it. We're not necessarily looking about how she balances and maintains her posture, but we're just seeing if she's able to weight bear on this limb. Alright, and flowing right into 5, so just relax for me, we're seeing how she stands on the paretic side. So we're going to do the same thing, just pick that right foot up, or left foot up for me and balance on that right leg. The goal of this, once again, is 10 seconds, and if she can do that, she's able to get a score of a 3. And we will call that about 10 seconds. In the PASS exam part, where we're looking at the patient's ability to change postures. Number 6 is the first one, and from here on out, these scores, and the way they're scored from 0, 1, 2, and 3, is just basically looking at how much assistance you're providing to the patient during that changing of posture movements. So number 6, getting right into it, is looking at the ability of the patient to roll to their paretic side. So we will say Cameron's right side is affected still. And all you're asking to do is, Cameron, can you just roll to your right side for me? Good. Obviously she has no trouble with that, so that would be a 3. And you're like I said, you're basing that score off the amount of assistance you're providing. So Cameron, can you go back to your back? And with these, as she's doing these, you're obviously guarding these patients, making sure they're not rolling off either side of the table. And so moving straight into 7, you're looking at their ability to roll to their uninvolved side. So Cameron, can you roll on this side for me? Guarding as accordingly. Very good. That would be a 3 as well. Can you go back to your back? Thank you. Going into 8 and 9 of the PASS exam, we're looking at the patient's ability to go from supine to sitting on the edge of the table, and then going back from sitting on the edge of the table to supine, which is 9. So starting with 8, we're going, Cameron, I would like you to roll to your right side, and I would like you to stay or end sitting on the edge of the table for me. Let's see how you do with that. Very good. And guarding as accordingly, of course, obviously that would be a 3 for her. She did not need any assistance. All right, Cameron, I'll let you go back to laying on your back. Let's see how you do that, okay? Once again, she does very well with that, and that would be a 3 as well. On 10 and 11 of the PASS exam, this is seeing how the subject does going from sitting to standing, and then back down from standing to sitting. So 10 would be sitting to standing. So first we have to get Cameron back to the edge of the table. Cameron, can you roll to your right side and get to the edge of the table for me? Very good. And can you scooch this way? Very good. And so Cameron, all I would let you do is just stand up and stand up straight and tall for me and just hold your balance. Very good. Obviously she has no trouble with that, so that would be a 3. And then Cameron, I would just like you to sit back down, okay? Very good. And so that will be a 3 as well. So 12, which is the final part of the PASS assessment, is having the patient pick up an item from the floor and seeing how they do with that. So Cameron, I would just like you to stand up for me. Very good. And then I'm going to set this pin on the floor. I'm going to tuck your gate real quick, Ken. Stays out the way. I'm going to set this pin on the floor, and all I want you to do is just pick that up for me, okay? Very good. She obviously does very well at that, so that would be a 3 also.